Hi everybody, my name is Miss Jessica and I'm here with Musical Theater for Kids Facebook Live session. Today we're going to talk about how to create a story or a play. For those of you that tuned in earlier in the week to see Miss Prim and Miss Mimi, I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope that you will enjoy today. We're getting ready for a big week, a big few weeks up ahead to offer more musical theater options for you guys. So first of all, as we know, musical theater is usually done with a play, which we use scripts for. Scripts have all the lines for the actors and everything. Some scripts and some plays come from books, and some are even turned into movies. So you have, today we're going to learn a few tips and tricks on how to create your own play or a story, okay? So first, let's talk about why we need to know the different elements and what the difference is of a play and a story. Okay, so in a story we have the story is written for us to read and imagine, and it includes structure, chapters, a clear storyline, and it's usually longer than a play sometimes. And a play is written for actors to perform. It includes speaking lines, music, and light cues, stage positions, and scenes. And it's usually shorter than a story, okay? So when we talk about play or story, we use words like the scene or a plot. We also use the word location or settings. We also use the word characters and cast. And that's the difference between the story vocabulary and a play vocabulary. Okay, so, oh, hi Katie. So I want to explain something before we start. So we have here the rise and fall of the stories. Okay, so when you're writing a story, we want to talk about the exposition, which is the intro, right? The beginning of our story. And then we have the rising action, which are the things that happen in the story that lead up to the climax. The climax is the most exciting part of the story, or it can be more than one part, or it can be many parts, or sorry, one part or more than one part. And so we explain the exciting part, and then we have the falling action, and falling actions are the events that happen because of the climax. And then we end with resolution, or the ending, okay? So we should follow a structure, right, when we're writing a story or a play from beginning, middle, and end. The difference between the story is that we write it and then we read it and we imagine what's happening. And a play is written as a script. So you read the script and you're reading lines that the actors are to perform, right? So I want to kind of give you an idea of the difference between each of these formats. So when we're writing a play, we have, like I said, the script. We want to put the name of the play. We want to add our cast. Right? The cast is going to be the list of characters that are in your story or your play. Some plays have one character, some have two, and some have more than 20. If you're doing a musical, which is my favorite, you can add your list of songs that you're going to perform. You can also add backdrops, and something else that you can add to your list are the props that you will use in your play. Okay? So after you've kind of written this down and gotten an idea of what you're going to who you're going to include and what songs or backdrops you're going to have, then you can start to write your play. Okay, you will start with scene 1, and what you do is you start to list the character name, and then right next to their name you're going to write the line that they're going to read. Now remember, when in the script, the lines that are being read are for the actors to perform. Okay. So it's not as entertaining maybe as a book because you're waiting to see the live performance. So I hope that if you guys get a chance to write your own script, you will find some actors around, maybe your family, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, and they can help you to perform your script. Now the story, when we do a story outline, we have the title, the introduction, which is the beginning, and we have the body, which is where everything else in your story happens, and then we have the conclusion, the ending. Okay, so when we use the rising action and falling action, this is the easy way to outline it. All right. So let's see. I'm going to show you a few things. But before that, whenever you're writing a story, for example, it's a very good idea to list a few things that you want to include in your story. So you can list things like time, so that means the year or the time of day. It can be nighttime, it can be morning, it can be 2057, or it can be 1972, okay? So try to set make the setting for your story, make a mood, make an idea, and get yourself ready to start writing in that mood or that year, okay? Another thing that you can also think about is how you want to talk about your story, how you want to describe your characters. You can make a list of adjectives that you'd like to include. So for all of those out there who don't know what adjectives are just yet, adjectives are words that describe something. So for example, beautiful, quick, scary, slow, fast, amazing, hot, cold. Okay, so these are the kinds of words that we want to use when we're writing a story or a play, so that we can describe what's happening and make people feel like they're in the story with you. Okay, and then let's see, there was one more thing. Yes. So another thing that you can do, this works for both your story and your play, is to describe your characters. Maybe what you could do is draw a picture of your character, and you can draw a picture of them, you can describe them, give them a personality, because what you're doing is that you're writing a story with these made-up characters, and you want to know who you're writing about. You want to know who these people are. So one thing you can do is make a list, right? How old is this person? Where do they live? Where do they come from? What's their family life like? Describe what they look like also. So this will give you an easier idea, an easier way to start writing your story. And this goes for both the story and the play, okay? All right, so I want to show you a few options that you can do. If you don't know where to start, think about a few funny things that can happen in your everyday life, or a few funny things that have happened to you before, and write it down. Write down the name of that event or activity and draw a picture, all right? And that will be a good place to start. If you've never written a story before or you don't know where to start, just think about some funny things and then you can write it down, all right? So for example, today I drew 3 pictures and gave us 3 options for story. Number 1 is the cat stuck in the tree. So we all know this story, right? The firemen come, they save the cat, everybody's happy. So there's the cat right there stuck in the tree, okay? So if you draw a picture of everything that you're doing, even if it's not a really great picture, it will give you a visual way to remember what you're writing about. So one option is cat stuck in a tree. The other one is going to be, I'm melting, a melting ice cream cake. Oh no, somebody better get this cake to their birthday party before it melts. Okay, and a broken guitar string. So you're about to go onto a live concert, you're going to do your school recital, and your guitar string breaks. What are you going to do? So these are the things that we can think of, like funny, silly things that happen in our everyday life, to start writing about. So that would be the plot, the scene, the plot of the story. Okay, and then let's think about location or setting. Where could this story happen? Could it happen at home? So maybe the cat is stuck in the tree at home. Could it happen at a park? Let's see, maybe you're having a birthday party at the park and the sun is really, really hot and your cake is melting, but the birthday girl is not there. The birthday girl is running late, so the cake is melting and everybody's ready to shout surprise, but there's no birthday girl just yet, okay? So that's the location and the setting. And then you want to think about your characters, all right? So I just drew a simple example today. So we have the boy and the girl. So this boy and this girl, they could be anybody. They could be friends, they could be cousins, right? So we need to decide who can be what, all right? So they can be brother and sister. They can be random people who've never met before. Or they can be friends, okay? So once you've decided who is going to be in your story, where your story is going to take place. What is the scene or the plot of your story? You can start to write, okay? But first, always start with a story outline, okay? Because this way you'll have a map. This is your story map. This is where you come back to. This is where you can make changes. So then when you're actually writing the whole story, you can always have somewhere to look and see, okay, I want to put this in the introduction, I want to make sure this is in the body, and I want to make sure that this is included in the ending, okay? And for the script, you can do the same thing, but you have to think very specifically for the script, because you have to make each line count, right? In a story, you are describing the event, right? You're describing an event, you're talking about where, when, how, and who. But in a script, you're writing the lines. So the story is being told by the people who are speaking. So that's something to keep in mind, okay? All right, so just quickly, so I'm gonna take one of these three. I think I'm going to take the broken guitar string, and I'm going to be at home. All right, so here we go. I'm taking the broken guitar string at home with the girl and the boy. Okay. And I'm going to say that they are brother and sister. All right, so they're brother and sister. So what you can do is you can make a bunch of story element cards and put them all together. And from that, you can create a story. So let's say today, we're all self-isolating. We're all socially distant right now. So brother and sister are at home, okay? They are about to put on a concert, a home concert for their family, and brother realizes that his guitar string is broken. So what are we going to do? So that is going to be your climax. The most exciting part right here, the most exciting part of your story is going to be how the mystery of the broken string gets solved, okay? So let's say the broken string broke because sister was running around and playing with brother, and the guitar fell and the string broke, and he didn't realize it until right before the concert. So brother might be a little bit upset, so sister is trying to help him, and sister says, hey, I think I saw an extra guitar in the attic. Let's go and find it. 10 minutes until showtime, right? So then brother and sister run up to the attic, they try to find the guitar, and finally they see this beautiful old guitar that used to belong to their grandfather. And guess what? Mom and dad downstairs had forgotten about the guitar, and they were so happy when brother came back downstairs with the guitar. And they put on a beautiful show, and everybody was happy, but guess what? Brother's birthday was the next day, and he had a whole new set of guitar strings waiting for him in a gift with his birthday cake that was hopefully not melting. Okay, so one challenge that you can do for yourself is, like I said, make a bunch of story element cards and put them all together. And then what you can do to make even more of a challenge is include more than one story element. For example, I'm at the park, and my birthday cake is melting, but there's a cat stuck in the tree. So what are you going to do? Are you going to help save the cat, or are you going to help save your cake? Okay, so I leave you with that question, and if you want to try to write a story about who you're going to save, or what you're going to save, the cat or the cake, it's up to you, okay? So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed the mini lesson. If you want more lessons, you can subscribe to our 3-week mix and match at home. You'll have access to over 45 lessons over a 3-week period, and it's only 2,250 baht. So you get to log on for 3 lessons a day, or 1, or anything, up to you. So join as much or as little as you want. To sign up, you can find us at musicaltheaterforkidsbkk@gmail.com, or you can message us on Facebook. Thank you, and goodbye everybody. Happy Friday!